Hello, wonderful friends and family. Today I'm going to do something a little different. Remember Jeff Foxworthy, I believe is his name, that used to say, "You may be a redneck if." Well, I have something that says, "You may be a baby boomer if," and here's my list. Number one, you may be a baby boomer if you remember riding in the car without a seatbelt because there were no seatbelts. Speaking of cars, you may be a baby boomer if your parents told you to roll up the window or roll down the window. Yeah. You may be a baby boomer if you can remember watching the very first TV show in living color. Yeah, remember the Peacock? I believe it was NBC. Oh, yeah. I remember seeing that thing full of color. And yeah. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to Together with Sharon, would you do so? It don't cost you anything. It just lets you know when other events are coming up or other posts are coming up. And it would just help me out so much. And also like and share. That would just be awesome if you would do that. Leave in a comment. I want to read, if you're a baby boomer, what's the very first show that you watched in living color? I was at my Aunt Sybil's house and the TV show Flipper came on. And I was just mesmerized to see that beautiful water. Some of you are saying, Flipper, what's Flipper? You may be a baby boomer if you had to adjust the rabbit ears to pull the station in clear. Mm-hmm. You may be a baby boomer if you were on a party line. Yep. Or you listened in to get some good juicy gossip. You may be a baby boomer if your parents told you to use the encyclopedia to do the report that you cannot go to the library. You may be a baby boomer if your Christmas wish came out of a Sears and Roebuck catalog, or maybe a J.C. Penney catalog. Boy, do I remember that, those days. You may be a baby boomer, speaking of Christmas, if you didn't put up your tree till right before Christmas. You may be a baby boomer if your parents told you, get up and change the TV channel. No remotes in those days. Yeah. You may be a baby boomer if you were given a dime to make a phone call if you got in trouble. Yeah, that's what it cost. Yeah, to make a phone call locally. And speaking of phone calls, you may be a baby boomer if you were told to wait till after 9 o'clock to make your long distance phone call because it was cheaper. Or you may have heard something like this: "Mother, come quickly to the phone. They're calling long distance." You may be a baby boomer if you remember the family Bible. Remember the family Bible on the coffee table where all your family records were kept, and maybe your mother made clippings of newspaper articles of people you know in the family and put them in the family Bible as a keepsake? You may be a baby boomer if you know what it's like to sit around the dinner table every single night after you had played outside until the lights came on or somebody called dinner. You may be a baby boomer if you drank out of a water hose. Mm-hmm. You may be a baby boomer if you had a collection of 45 records, you know, the small ones, and you would get a stack of them. Yeah. You may be a baby boomer if you knew what it was like to go to church every Sunday, because that's what Christians do. You may be a baby boomer if you never heard a woman swear, or very seldom heard a man swear. You may be a baby boomer when men open the car door for a lady. You may be a baby boomer if your mother's friends didn't drive. Yeah. You may be a baby boomer if you grew up hearing jokes about women drivers. There's so many things that we as baby boomers remember that A lot of people have no idea. But the main thing is that you may be a baby boomer if your family prayed together. And I pray you still pray together. I want you to know that I have such wonderful memories of my childhood. Well, there were some dark parts of that. I remember growing up where we had to wear dresses to school. And I remember that changed when I got in what we call middle school now. It was called junior high school back then, where they allowed not jeans, not shorts, but pantsuits. Yeah, I remember those days. And I am so thankful that God chose the time that I would be born, and God chose the time that you would be born. And it was for such a time as this. You're not here by accident. You may have surprised your mom or your dad, but you didn't surprise the Lord. Your life is pre planned by God Almighty because He has a special design and purpose for you. And I pray that you find that purpose by having a relationship with Jesus Christ. I want you to have a Jesus filled day, and I'll be back very soon. Be sure to subscribe.